way to acceptable losses in the military. There's always somebody to whom that is completely unacceptable. I mean, you can have a 4-second outage, which, would be well within a data center's 5.9 SLA of acceptability. But of course, if you have customers that have, huge database servers and you shut one of those off unexpectedly, it can take 18 to 20 hours before that device works properly again. So even a few seconds of an outage can have a catastrophic effect on the customer's business. So that's why we architected this way. And we can run up to 66% load on each of the 3 power systems. Let's say the red system has a bad day. Even though the red system is N+2 within itself, let's say somehow the generators and the batteries and the fuel and everything else, somehow the red system goes down. 33% of the red system's load fails over to the blue system, and 33% fails over to the gray system. So this facility is 3 times N+2, or system plus system plus system. So no one has ever built a data center to those power specifications either. This is completely unique to the supernap. Of course, people will ask us, were you guys, tier 4 according to the Uptime Institute? And I was going to go, well, you're kind of asking me if my Ferrari meets Honda standards. I'm sure, but it's way beyond that. Of course, to be fair, the Uptime Institute wrote those standards about 12 years ago, and they really only encompass a raised floor blended air data center, which is absolutely not what this is whatsoever. So I'd love to see them write a new standard that encompasses all the innovation that's taking place recently in the data center industry, not just ours, but all the others out there. Any questions on any of that so far? Okay. UPS systems, we use APC Symetra megawatt UPS systems. Each one has valve-regulated lead-acid batteries, each with a 5-year shelf life. But we replace them every 3 years just to be safe. We also monitor every single battery inside every single module for charge and ampacity. Just because the battery has a charge doesn't necessarily mean it has enough juice to run anything, so that's why we monitor for ampacity as well. Of course, because my customers are plugged into 2 separate N+2 power systems, that gives Switch the ability to do true maintenance. So maintenance, testing, repairs, whatever has to be done can be done without any interruption in service to the customer. So for instance, let's say we need to forklift the system bypass module out and replace it. We can do that with no downtime. Or let's say better power technology comes out that we think all of our customers should be able to take advantage of. We can rip out and replace even up to an entire system at a time if necessary without shutting a single customer off in the process. Or let's say the federal government changes the rules, which they certainly do once in a while. We can become compliant with no downtime. So these are all reasons why we feel very comfortable with the 100% uptime guarantee in the contract in the SLA. Generators. At full build-out, supernap will have 50 2.8 megawatt diesel generators for a total of 146 megawatts of generator capacity. Each generator has its own 7,000-gallon diesel fuel supply. It's enough fuel to run on our current load about a week and a half. Maximum load would be about 72 hours. Now, Switch also hosts several government deployments, of course none of which I can name, but suffice to say we do build DCID 6.9 tempestrated skiffs for top secret and Q clearance projects for the government. So because we have some very critical government data, Switch is listed at Tier 2 on the critical infrastructure list for the state of Nevada. The only thing at Tier 1 is the Hoover Dam. We are actually next on the list above the hospitals for power and refueling. So because of that, there are 3 local fuel companies that must arrive within 2 hours of the start of the generators and every 8 hours thereafter to provide continuous fuel so they never shut off. And also our security team is authorized by the state to go and take fuel if necessary. That's totally my favorite part. Yeah. We actually do have our own, essentially our own military police that guard our compounds. All of them are former Marines. I learned very quickly not to say ex-Marines. They get a little upset at that as a former Marine. And since they're all armed, I try not to upset them. Each generator is also made to our specifications. They're made by Detroit Diesel. They're one of the vendors that agreed to make things the way we like. So each generator has 4 separate starter motors with 4 separate battery packs to ensure that we get them turned over whenever we need them. We test the generators every Tuesday. We do full load cutovers once a quarter, and we recycle all the fuel every 6 months. Any questions? You guys are all stunned? Open mouth? Okay. Okay, so how does all this benefit my customers? They can do deployments like this. 4 fully populated blade chassis in a rack in every rack. So this particular customer is doing about 24 kilowatts per rack. This is actually in 100 racks, so about 3 megawatts of power and 3,000 square feet. So of course, this particular customer actually builds data centers of their own, but they had to bring this high density deployment to us because they can't elementary school age kids. So if you stand next to their racks at about noon, Vegas time, it's about 3 o'clock back east, and the servers start firing up, because why? All the kids are getting out of school. And so they stay running hot until about 9 o'clock LA time, and all the kids that age are primarily going to bed. So they might be at 17 kW in the middle of the afternoon and go down to 1 in the middle of the night. So the Halo chipsets are designed to sleep those servers in the middle of the night when they're not being used. So one of the great things that's going to happen is tying into our living data center software so that we can actually sleep the CFMs to face those racks. When those racks are being slept, we can deliver less cold air to those racks. Of course, that customer will pay less to cool those racks, to power the racks. Okay, so that will tie directly into their billing. Any questions on any of that? So, one of the interesting things is that, Sony PlayStation, of course, when they first called us, they said, well, we need 5,000 square feet. And we said, okay, well, why do you need this much space? They said, because that's how much space we have to buy everywhere we go in order to get the amount of power that we want. And then, of course, we have to spread all of our racks apart at least 20, 25 feet to keep the air moving around to keep them cool. And so we said, well, if you cram all your equipment together, how many racks would that take up? And they said, well, it'll take about 40 racks. And we said, wonderful, we'll sell you 40 racks. It'll take about 1,000 square feet. You can have all the power you want. Very easy calculation for Sony to run. However, there's still no way that Sony would put PlayStation Network in our facilities if we didn't also have phenomenal connectivity, because that's their lifeblood, right? High availability, low latency. The online gaming community is the most unforgiving customer base on the internet. It's like they're curing cancer or something, but that's how they are. So we're very blessed here at Switch in that we have 27 national carriers physically on net with us in our data center campus. Now, how that occurred, because this is a very unique situation, how that occurred is my NAP2 facility was originally built by Enron Broadband Services. Everybody ever hear of Enron? Yeah. So, of course, this was back in Enron's heyday. They had this idea that they were going to change the internet. They wanted to apply their energy trading algorithms to bandwidth and peering. So, of course, now we all go, oh gosh. But back then, this was in their heyday when they could do no wrong. They built one data center in the U.S., right there in Las Vegas, and invited all the carriers to get in on it. So at the same time, in the late 90s, all of the carriers were spending millions of dollars of venture capital building out their networks. 27 of them jumped